We will be pulling together to make sure that we don't disappoint you. I will do my best, I promise you, but the blessing has been this man, as you know. And I love you, and I thank you, and I'm going to try and do my best. Is racing at about 5,000 miles an hour.
I think it takes a village to build a village, and so it's really about everyone, the residents, the small businesses, the city, and what's great is everyone's moving the same direction and wants the same thing.
May God bless you all, and may their souls rest in peace. What beautiful people we have lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the 2024 State of the City Address with Mayor Carolyn G. Goodman, and please welcome our City Manager, Mike Jansen.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for the 2024 State of the City Address. You know, it's so good to have you all here tonight. This is a really special night, particularly for me. After 27 years working for the city, this is my first State of the City as city manager, and so very much appreciate this opportunity. Thank you. So whether you're with us in person tonight, watching live on KCLV TV, or viewing on the web or social media, we're sure glad you joined us. So like years past, we're excited to tell you about the ways that you can participate in tonight's State of the City Address. You can be part of the conversation by using the hashtag State of Vegas. So the ability to have all these tools to allow you to participate tonight is really only happens with the support of our great City Council. So at this time, it's my great pleasure to introduce the members of the Las Vegas City Council. First, representing Ward 1, our Mayor Pro Tem, Brian Knudsen. Representing Ward 5, Councilman Cedric Queer. Representing Ward 2, Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. Representing Ward 3, Councilwoman Olivia Diaz. And representing Ward 4, Councilwoman Frances Allen Polensky. And representing Ward 6, Councilwoman Nancy Brune. And folks, of course, the person who barely needs an introduction of any kind because of her 500,000 views on TikTok. Take a look at this video for a moment.
I'm the mayor of Las Vegas. My business card's a chip, but my husband had 3. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, and of course I have a welcome to Las Vegas sign. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, and of course I can turn on all the lights on the strip. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, and my husband was mayor for 12 years before me, but of course I have a statue of him in my office. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, and of course I'm going to talk about widening the I-15 when the New Year's Eve traffic comes on in. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, and of course I love all of our sports teams. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, but I still make dinner every night for the former mayor, my husband. I'm the mayor of Las Vegas, and of course I only give the bejeweled key out to the most deserving.
Everyone, without further ado, given her last State of the City address, please welcome the wonderful, the incredible Mayor Carolyn Goodman. Folks, at this time, I'd ask everyone to please remain standing, if you're able, for the singing of the national anthem, which is going to be performed tonight by Angel Guerrero.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' right glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow. Thank you so much, Angel. That was incredible. So well done. Folks, please be seated. We'd also like to take a moment to thank Las Vegas High School's mariachi for that wonderful intro for Mayor Goodman. You know, folks, this is always an important night for the city of Las Vegas, one that staff, residents, business owners really look forward to see what's coming for the next year. And we're headed into that year to come. And as part of this special night, we're honored to have so many key dignitaries here as well. I'd like to ask all elected officials in the audience tonight, past and present, to please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you all for your service. We also want to be sure to thank the Las Vegas Chamber for providing the refreshments we can enjoy following tonight's address. And now, folks, it's time to hear from our mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, giving her 13th and final State of the City, it is my great pleasure, my great honor to welcome to the microphone the mayor of the city of Las Vegas, Ms. Carolyn Goodman.
And I don't see my buck. Oh, my. Thank you all. Thank you. Please sit. Please, you're in for a long haul. And I know there have been over and unders placed. Every year I do it because the first one was the worst. I see so many of you at least have not brought popcorn and pillows. But this wonderful Mayor Pro Tem of mine, while he was an employee at the city, he took the hint and he said, it is 1 hour. So any of you who want to get up now and take another decision if you want to stay, this is a good time to go. This is an unbelievable time for me, and it's actually for everybody that's ever worked here at City Hall, and I look out and I see all of so many people who've made everything happen here, former council persons too, and just so many who've worked in so many divisions. So tonight, you're going to have to bear with me and take a little license, because not only do we have a wonderful longtime employee and our new city manager, but this is a great time. We have wonderful new faces, and we have some not older, but this is an old face, but wonderful longer serving members of our council, all of whom are so devoted to everything that they do and are so caring about what they do in their different wards. So, oh, somebody has left cough drops, candies, and you're lucky you don't have Oscar making his stay to the city, because there'd be 2 showgirls and the Bombay Sapphires. So here we are, and good evening, and first of all, Happy New Year to all of you. I think I said to Oscar last night, I think we're sort of in the center of a storm, that quiet center, and there's so much going around the world right now that is really so challenging for all of us here. But fortunately for us, this is a unique community, and it's one that's been made different because all of us are so different, and we are probably one of the most diverse communities in the entire world, certainly in the United States. And it's because we share so much. And I look out and I keep seeing more and more faces that I've known these years. And you've all been so much a part of everything we've come to be and everything we love together about being from Las Vegas. So while preparing for tonight, as you can see, I'm of older tooth, longer tooth. You won't see the monitors. I have to have it that I can touch it and count on it at my speed. So it's only, well, I haven't started yet. So we'll see. But anyway, pardon me on not have one of those clear ways that you can think I'm brilliant and have memorized it all. I have not. But this comes from the heart. And while preparing for tonight, I realized not only does it represent my final state of the city, but equally significant for me, it means my husband and I, of course, have been mayors for a long, long, long time. 25 years. And it's so hard for us to think of that as a quarter of a century. And I look at so many, I see some of you who are a little longer of tooth. But for those who are younger, that seems like eons away. Trust me, it goes so quickly. But even more significant, Oscar and I have lived here in Las Vegas for 60 years, and it has been a time warp, and it's been an impossibility. So if I digress from the norm, we will get to the specifics of this wonderful community. But as 2 somewhat crazy newlyweds from the East Coast, not unusually, we had a dream of building a life of our own, leaving our very close-knit families behind, striking out, as you saw in the movie, to go west. And to Las Vegas, of all places. Everyone thought we were nuts back east. They said it over and over and over again. In fact, for several years, none admitted we had gone to Las Vegas, Nevada. It was Las Vegas, New Mexico. And out we drove with $87 remaining in our combined wealth. We drove through Boulder City in August and into Henderson, and we stopped at Railroad Pass to look ahead. And for those of you who weren't here then, the film you just saw had a piece that was alive, trust me. What we saw was nothing. Sweeping nothing desert. On the left, a line of spread out low buildings, and that, of course, was the Strip. And far straight ahead, a cluster of small buildings, our wonderful Fremont Street. That little cluster, of course, at that time was the epicenter of southern Nevada. And from left to right, that was our town and our new home. My parents don't marry him. Of course, at that point, I thought they were right. Fun and excitement, of course, but warts and all, too. Alleged, and it will always be alleged, organized crime, whatever that meant, out of deference to Oscar. Sadly, segregation, and only about 100,000 people were living here in 1964. The hotel casinos
were all privately owned out in the Strip, and the showrooms were sit-down only. You got all dressed up, and you were entertained close up by the Beatles, the Rat Pack, Elvis, Pearl Bailey, Judy Garland, Liberace, even our own Wayne Newton, Cugat, Harry James, Betty Grable. The great show extravaganzas, we saw the Lido, the Follies, the Casino de Paris, and the lounges. They were phenomenal. For 50 cents a drink, it was a bargain for anything, but you always got to see the best of entertainers, Sarah Vaughan, Louis Prima, and of course the great comedian and friend to us all, Shecky Greene, who sadly we lost this past month. Competition was keen to bring in the gambler, and it was all about the customer. It was about us, the customer. It was intimate. They knew you, and they worked hard to keep you coming back. Well, today in downtown, that is what remains of what we were. Privately owned hotel casinos, intimate and trying to keep you coming back to relive and remind us all what Las Vegas is all about. Our downtown and privately owned wonderful hotels, the El Cortez, the D, Circa, the Plaza, the Fremont, the Cal, Four Queens, the Golden Gate, the Gold Spike, and there are others. And we have changed and we have grown. In 1999, my husband, in a wild career transformation, became mayor. Downtown, at that time, had been the center of the historic Las Vegas activity, but by then was facing real deterioration, horrific blight. Boarded up motels, businesses, petty crime, drugs, prostitution, you name it, it was there, and it was dirty. The only vacant land to build upon was a polluted brownfield owned by the Union Pacific Railroad. Oscar saw potential there, had a vision, and was determined with his council to work that vision to success. And so redevelopment with those councils began aggressively in 2000. Needing to take a prep class, obviously, on how to be a mayor, former Howard Hughes president, who helped develop the fashion show as well, Dan Van Epp, said, "Why don't you and Carolyn go back to Baltimore and take a lesson from the Rouse Company of what a world-class city should be and could be, and maybe that will help." So off we went to learn about a formula for building a world-class city. And that formula we have kept, following that formula year in and year out. What do you need up front? We all know, and we know it more now than ever before, safety. Invest in health care and medical research. See to the priority of providing the best in education. Become a center of culture and all the arts. Build parks and make recreation easily accessible. And be sure effective transportation is provided. And at the end, don't forget, there's major league sports out there. Well, pull up and die, right? Oscar heard that, and was he on fire? Music to our ears, and before we returned to Las Vegas by plane, he'd made a list of every single major league commissioner, and he knew he was going to contact them, and that he did in order, starting with NHL Gary Bettman. Then the next visit was to David Stern of the NBA. And now, of course, that's Adam Silver, and he knows all about us, and we're keeping trying, and I just saw him 2 weeks ago. Major League Baseball, Bud Selig, and forget what he said. NFL, Paul Tagliabue, and of course now Roger Goodell. And take on that list again and again he did. None liked that we were a gambling state or a gambling city, and they wouldn't even take, as you know, our TV ads every time he would try during Super Bowl. It was no to Las Vegas and no to Nevada.
But times have changed, laws have changed, cities and states need money. And guess what went on? Gaming. So what was but a dream 25 years ago, now we enjoy the realities of today. We, Las Vegas, are an epicenter and arena for Major League sports. And as you recall, our first toe in the water was with baseball farm clubs at Cashman, the Stars, the 51s. And then we dipped into the succession of NBA Summer League. And first pro team, of course, Bill Foley and our wonderful Golden Knights. And in just 6 years, of course, the Stanley Cup. And if you still wonder, and I assure you it's not going to be if an NBA franchise will be here. It's just a question of when. No wonder the city relaunched its Down for Anything, Mr. Riggleman, downtown campaign that you just saw. The energy, excitement, and eyes of the entire world are on Las Vegas and who we are. And now on to the more serious business of the state of the city. While coming here tonight, some of you, maybe, if you can get around all the little cones and traffic problems we've been having, maybe you passed through what was once that brown field. I just mentioned, but now it's our jewel of the desert. It is our cultural center, and it's called Symphony Park, home of the Smith Center for Performing Arts, and what Myron Martin, and I think he said he was here. Are you here? There you are. It is your living room. It is our living room, or his again. It's home to the Nevada Ballet. Now let's talk culture. Las Vegas Philharmonic, with all the shows that we have, and nearby our Discovery Children's Museum. Down the street, the National Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement, our Mob Museum, the Neon Boneyard Museum, and our Natural History Museum. We have really given birth to the seeds of what they told us, culture. And also, to add to this, the city has just announced an ENA, or exclusive negotiating agreement, with civic leader and art collector Elaine Wynn to develop a missing piece in our cultural corridor, which she and her team are working on to bring us finally a museum, the Las Vegas Museum of Art. And weren't you awed? Where are you here? It is wonderful. And I'm sure you were awed by all the cranes in construction. Right there on Grand Central Parkway, excavation has begun on the new dual-brand AC Marriott Element by Westin Hotel, which sits opposite the Expo Convention Center of the World Market. That World Market is again having its Las Vegas Winter Wholesale Furniture Design and Accessory Market, and that's in just 2 weeks. And rising to new heights just north of what's going to be that Westin Marriott Hotel, the 22-story apartment tower that you see by Southern Land out of Nashville, which will open already has opened and is almost full, the 324 luxury apartments of the Auric, and a block away and further north at the north end of Symphony Park, recently approved by council, is Cello, of origin at Symphony Park, a 32-story residential tower with condominium units in a 6-acre retail, office, and urban living environment. This is a Red Ridge development, and it's their second building on Symphony Park, the first one being the Park Haven, which has been an incredible success for those who want to live and work downtown. East of the world-renowned Frank Gehry Design Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, Lou Ruvo Institute for Brain Health on Bonneville, A much-needed expansion to that center and clinic has been recently announced. A multi-story medical and medical research facility can soon help the giant wait list of patients who are hopeful this moves along quickly. And right across the street from here is our wonderful new Civic Plaza. This $165 million complex will soon allow us to bring over our 2,300 scattered employees into the building and space for new retail and restaurants, designed for events, concerts, and gatherings, and set off by selected public artwork. Now, if you'll join me in taking an imaginary trip from the north end of the Strip at Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard, what has already been shown in the media is in design phasing a $40 million roundabout elevated pedestrian bridge. This must-do walkabout is being built, obviously, to open up that heavily congested logjam right there at that joint part. And moving north, straight ahead, are the much photographed and popular new Welcome to Downtown Las Vegas arches, just steps away from the 50-foot giant showgirl gateway attraction. This was his work. Right there, Golden Gaming Strat has been undergoing a multi-year, multi-million-dollar improvement investment, with part of that investment getting ready to open to the public this first quarter is the phenomenal Atomic Golf attraction. And we are all just waiting to see that happen. And keeping going, either walking straight ahead down Main Street into the festooned lit, again, famed 18B Arts District, home to our First Friday celebrations and all of its offerings, or you can stay on the boulevard in your mind and go north. And if you do that, you're on the city's recently completed largest public works streetscape improvement project ever undertaken, one costing over $130 million and which runs from Sahara on the north of the Strip, on our south, all the way to the 95-515. We're going and we're right in, keep on going into the historic core of our city, the center of all government entities. That federal buildings, state building, county buildings, city government buildings, all the courthouses, the Supreme Court, the District Court, the Justice Court, and the brand new Muni Court facilities, the jails, the FBI, the DEA, and even facilities in which our wonderful IRS is housed. And not far around the corner, of course, is our Metro headquarters. So getting around town, how can you do this easily? Tourists, government personnel, attorneys, clients, wedding seekers, small businesses, employees, residents, that's easy. And finally, something for free, as we used to do in the old days. Our loop, the downtown free Las Vegas loop. And it's a shuttle with so many locations. You can get to the hotels. You can come in here to Symphony Park. You can just go around the city. And the first stop is right inside the Strat. And in fact, if you live in Soho, Newport Lofts, Jewel, Fremont 9, Share, Oric, Park Haven, any one of our apartment complexes and housing complexes, save gas, save charging your battery until you need it later on, and ride the free loop, ride a bike or walk, and live and enjoy life right here. Now, we know we have had to keep up in technology, and that's been an undertaking, a passion of former councils and this council from the very beginning, because technology, as we all know, is interactive in every aspect of your life. And for those of us who thought it was stupid, you sleep with your phone, forget with your spouse or significant other. And that has significantly changed these 25
5 years. We have been explosive in developing in the use for our city, and we added into the heart of downtown a few years back our first international innovation center. That has been so successful, we opened a second one and more in the planning because they fill up so quickly. These are trying to keep pace with the demands of those interested in that competitive and great world of technology. Security is beyond challenged, as we all know, and is paramount to address. And with every aspect of Las Vegas and world life being affected in some way by technology, the city has been proactive and will embrace the industry with greater rigor going forward. We continue to provide incubator space, connectivity, outreach to seasoned and to new techies, not only to those who are local or national, but even to those from the international market. With Consumer Electronics Show having come here for the past 30 years, and it's here right now because you can't go anywhere down near the convention center, coming to downtown from CES and having active involvement with us here from the international world, from Korea, India, Australia, Japan, Israel, Poland, UK, just to mention a few of the countries that are working with our techies and those who come in from around our western states or around the country. Our efforts will continue to provide incentives to support the industry, and the city looks to be even more supportive going forward. And moving into the center of our city, as we know, the entire country has issues, and I know you when I'm looking at you, you all know of our unhoused population. We chose not to be a sanctuary city. We have sanctuary cities nearby, but yet because of the seasonable climate and the anonymity of the numbers of people who come into town and visit and enjoy Las Vegas and our tourism, we have a growing families and individuals who are homeless. And we know this is something that you cannot say somebody else's backyard anymore. You cannot say they should go somewhere else. And so we have been listening to the calls, your calls from some of you, from individuals in residencies, to do something about our unhoused population. During Oscar's tenure in the old City Hall, he used to open up City Council to invite those who were living in the tunnels and around town. Please come in. Our nonprofit partners were there. There'll be no arrests. And only the very few came. And so in 2011, one of the first things that I did was call upon our city manager and staff and say, are we turning the other cheek? Or are we going to do something? And the support that we have had from our entire team here and the remarkable not-for-profits. We have had groups go off and look at best practices around this country. And as you well know, nobody has solved it yet. And it continues to grow because seniors, there's so many caught in the population that you wonder, as you think of the spectrum of who is in this unhoused population. You cannot just deal with a blob of people and assume their needs are all the same. Each one of us, each one of you, each one of us is as different as the person we're sitting next to. And so in doing that, looking at the spectrum, we know we have our veterans. And thank you, Arnie Stock, for starting our Share Village program. It made a huge impact. We have our seniors, so many on fixed income. And as inflation has really hit them,
and our own water bills, our electric and gas bills, on a fixed income, how do you handle that increase? And where is that the responsibility of a city to take care of all the public needs? Tell me, where is that money going to come from? We get a lot of calls all the time about, and forget it, when we shut down those that didn't get funds. What could we do? Thank you to Legal Aid and for everyone who's doing pro bono work to trying to get the unhoused or the worker their back pay so they could go on. We have in our group, beyond the veterans, the seniors, we have the severely mentally ill. And those were people when I was a little girl growing up. I'm not saying they were any good, but sanitariums. We have no place for the severely mentally ill. And the hospitals hold them for, unfortunately, the jails. And they are part of the population. We have those individuals who are recycled through our criminal courts. They're out there. They're grab and snatching in LA. In San Francisco, we have the drug alcohol dependent. We have the runaways, teens who think they know more than anybody else, and they take off, and where are you going to go? I can always do pole dancing in Las Vegas. We have them. We have, unfortunately, the trafficked. We have so much more. We found there was no one panacea for each individual has his or her individual needs which must be met, one at a time. But here in the heart of the city, helped by the outstanding support and leadership of our nonprofits, social service partners, the city of Las Vegas, without ongoing assessment and travel and visits to San Antonio, Philadelphia, Austin, all around to see what the best practices were, and the housing. New York City, taking over the Roosevelt and having unhoused in there. And the crime in there, you can't just put people in housing unless you have care. And this is an undertaking your city has gone about doing and tried to create a model center, a corridor of hope, and have built out, the first step was our courtyard, a master plan that could be replicated, we hope, in other parts of Nevada, so that one area does not take over all unhoused people, or you will end up like Skid Row in LA. And I know the gentleman to my left and your right, as close to me, can tell you about his trips to Skid Row. We cannot have that here, and we won't, and your council won't allow it. We know that the homeless or unhoused live without boundaries are in our hospitality corridors, in and out of our business centers, moving into our residential areas. Thus, each multi-service center is designed specifically to help these homeless individuals become healthy first, hired, and then housed, so they too can return to life. People cannot be left like animals without help and without hope. The entire country is experiencing this challenge, and no one area can or should be responsible for the totality here in Southern Nevada. Our service teams, our social service teams, our law enforcement, our volunteers are incredible here in Southern Nevada. They're out in the encampments, and I know, unless you've looked the other way, where the encampments are. They're along the railroad tracks, they're in the neighborhoods, they're in retail centers. And our teams are there and trying to get them to come to our Courtyard Center, where they work hand in hand with our MORE teams, our conditions teams, our flex teams. These are public safety servants. Metro is helping incredibly so. The social services are without stop and have immersed themselves in our planning, and we need to do more now. On site in the courtyard, you know what, it just dawned on me? Brian Knutson, I never turned it over. And I know I see our district attorney here. Were you just sending me vibes, turn this stupid thing over? You were. Oh. That's his favorite. No comment from the DA. All right. Anyway, the city has partners and already opened two new, I'm going to turn on when I start to talk about them. 2 new medical clinics to help provide more medical and healthcare services overall. The city knows the need is growing and more clinics must be prepared and planned for beyond those currently operational in the Corridor of Hope. It will take all of us, and we're committed to it. And so now, of course, that takes me into the number one. It is what is number one. Number one is always number one, and that's the priority, and that is public safety. And we have our stars finally aligned, where everybody knows that everybody else cares, and we have committed law enforcement individuals at the top positions that will not stop making sure that our city is safe. For, of course, we concentrate on that, and we now have provided law enforcement with some additional tools to help keep our residents and visitors safe. Just 2 months ago, in a valued joint partnership with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, the city marshals and the private security of the Fremont Street Experience, thank you. If you are here, Andrew Simon, are you here? Where is he? I can't see, I have the wrong glasses. Oh, there he is. And thank you to everybody who is on that board and committee on the Fremont Street Experience. A new central high-tech substation has been opened. This new substation, along with enhanced patrol, has become an effective deterrent to bad behavior, criminal activity, and abusive attacks in our tourist corridor. To be even more supportive and effective in controlling uninvited and negative behavior, in November, the City Council unanimously approved the Order Out corridor in our downtown, following the lead of the county's first Order Out implementation. This action allows an official of the courts, and I see our courts here, a judge, the option of banning chronic offenders from the area for a period of time, or ultimately, heaven forbid, permanently. And speaking of a judge, our judicial branch, our Muni Court, recently implemented a new online case management system, which now makes it easier for having a pathway to having legal matters adjudicated. We all know no one will live, visit, invest, or do business in a community that's not safe. Thus, we continue to depend upon and prioritize always being there for our marshals and law enforcement. These are our frontline personnel, our firefighters, our physicians, our nurses, social professionals, and first responders. These individuals with their teams are our 24/7 caretakers, and God bless every one of them because they give us our life in this unique and beautiful city. We know that behind each of these selfless individuals is a family, and they too are making this sacrifice and part of the dedicated team of city employees. So our unending gratitude, appreciation, and extended thanks to each and one of you always, and I thank you. And now a glimpse into our wards. Are you seeing me, Mayor Pro Tem?
Okay, buckle your seatbelts. Many of you don't know, because I must say I didn't know, we are 155 square miles, which is divided into 6 wards that I knew, and the population has grown. So we're about, some are a little more, some less, about 115,000 in each of the wards. The older wards, as you may know, and I don't know if it's showing up there, are 1, 3, and 5. And the newer, more suburban lifestyles are 2, 4, and 6. And we've mixed everybody up, so that's good. Okay, number 1 is the nasty man who gave me this, led by Mayor Pro Tem Brian Knutson. It's that sweet smile. Whose area is home to the Las Vegas Medical District, which is anchored by UMC, currently undergoing a $58 million county redevelopment and facility services expansion. UMC houses Nevada's only level 1 trauma center and only verified burn care center. Importantly, the development of the Kirk Kerkorian School of Medicine at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas has added significantly to major interest and development in that ward area. Both public and a private hospital, as you know, Valley is there, in the immediate adjacency, engage in health care and are sparking more than $500 million of current and future construction plans. Apartments, a hotel, medical offices, retail space, and much-needed garage space are in the works, some in partnership with G2 Capital. But open nearby in August in his ward is the $20 million Lumina Cleveland Clinic Memory Care Facility, which was designed in partnership with UNLV's Healthcare and the Cleveland Clinic. In November, Ward 1 welcomed the first medical pharmaceutical manufacturing business to the district with its intent on hiring veterans and college graduate workforce at an above minimum wage salary. This is a very exciting time for the anticipated healthcare growth. Remember the formula from the Rouse Company. And breaking ground in 2024 in the district by Cedar Streets out of Chicago is a complex called the Presley. This development will offer more than 200 much-needed apartment units to house our long-term nursing groups, others employed in the hospital and surrounding areas, our local healthcare industry, patients, visitors, and offering general residents new housing opportunity. A public works infrastructure investment of $100 million is underway in the district, with widening and beautifying streets along Charleston Boulevard between Interstate 15 and Rancho. I drive it every day. I'm ready to burn every bit of it down, but I know he keeps telling me there will be an end. I hope I live that long. This is putting power lines underground, yay. Making sewer improvements, always yay. Replacing water mains and storm drains and creating new business support to the district's vitality. Bike lanes, widened sidewalks, bus shelters, and increased signage and lighting safety measure will revitalize both the residential and businesses in the area and help prep the roads for the coming RTC, rapid bus transit, so people can get around more easily, efficiently, and with less jams. Recently created, in which Councilman Knutson is involved, also is a biohealth science committee. Its function to begin planning for a new clinical research center in Las Vegas, which will be an attraction and will retain even greater innovation and technology for ensuring the sustainability of the highest quality of medical care in our community. By 2030, it is estimated that the Las Vegas Medical District will support more than 24,000 jobs and have an estimated $3.6 billion economic impact on our community.
Mayor Pro Tem Knudsen has been at the forefront in bringing attention to the needs of motorists and pedestrians to be more careful on our roadways too. The city, with the coalition of area partners and through a federal grant, has helped launch Vision Zero to eliminate deadly traffic accidents plaguing our city and our entire southern Nevada area. Uncitable jaywalking. We no longer are citing jaywalkers, and therefore the deadly impact on the increasing numbers of accidents and deaths to people who choose to run across roads on a whim, no matter where you're driving, at all hours of the day and night, and in dark clothing, and without warning to any vehicle. This, I hope, will be undertaken by this Vision Zero. It needs to be reviewed quickly and comprehensively because the Vision Zero must achieve its goal. So I thank you so much. With the ever-increasing population in Las Vegas, there's obviously growing demand for more housing. And in Ward 1, they are doing their part to meet the need. Among others, and just opened over 334 units at the Apex at Meadows Lane and Decatur. And as you go out and back and forth down 95, I'm sure you see that wonderful complex. Councilman is an area, of course, that stretches well beyond the medical district. And he's just out there creating and improving our recreation and park areas and is concentrating on Cragen Park right now. And in Ward 2, our lovely and former councilwoman, Victoria Seaman, leads Ward 2. She worked hard on the acquisition of funding to expand the Pavilion Pool Complex in her ward, which has been home to the Olympic award-winning Sandpipers. Now in its current expansion, it will become an even bigger destination for more high-level swimmers to ensure and build their competitive skills, and not only that, but be available to our schools. Councilwoman has been pursuing funding to expand the Amanda and Stacy Darling tennis complex at Durango and West Washington. That's a hugely popular outdoor 23 lighted tennis court complex. Soon to be able to host more and larger tournaments than it already does. Maybe some of you remember when the famed Billie Jean King came in 2005 and opened that fabulous complex. New business openings are always celebrated and encouraged in Ward 2 and attended by Councilwoman Seaman, who realize how important the small businesses are to the vitality and sustainability of any community. They've been the background and the backbone of what's taken us through this COVID. Many of the city's top shopping corridors, including Tivoli Village, remain a huge draw for our locals and tourists alike, and new centers are on the horizon and being planned for expanding Summerlin West in her ward. In Ward 2, also, the new Queensridge Medical Center at Wallapai and Alta just opened in part as a memory care facility and is dedicated to future and varied medical and health care services. Councilwoman knows that an addition to that complex already is in the works. And as you all know, she is an avid animal lover, and she has worked relentlessly to bring leaders from the animal welfare community together to help provide funding for animal neutering, spaying, and adoption, but she has worked tirelessly to encourage the joint effort of the county, North Las Vegas High Mayor, and the city to assure highest quality services in animal care control facilities, and she continues to work with multiple agencies and organizations to support and ensure the safety of all pets in our community pet population. Councilwoman Seaman also has helped lead the way for the city to adopt a new ordinance designed to stem the tide of illegal fireworks that continues to be launched in our neighborhoods and all residential areas. And that is in combination, too, with the County Commission, who have been trying to stem that growth every single year for the past decade. This has been an ongoing problem, and she stays with it. And as you know, Ward 2 is home to many trailheads, parks, and beautiful outdoor spaces, and those in Ward 2 are beyond popular, with fewer busier than our Bruce Trent Park. Home to the Las Vegas Farmers Markets, little wonder Councilwoman has been working on plans for another new regional park. It's one to be built in the coming years west of I-215 near Charleston for those who live and work in the ever-expanding western acreage in Summerlin. In Ward 3, native-born elementary school teacher, former assemblywoman, mother of the cutest little boy I ever saw. Councilwoman Olivia Diaz is our first Latina to serve on council. And as we have seen an enlarging demographic change, the map for her district responsibilities has gotten much larger. One of her major efforts is working on plans for the redevelopment of the former Desert Pines Golf Course in East Las Vegas. This space will be transformative to meet the demands of first-time homebuyers, growing senior populations, and will also provide opportunities for the creation of smaller businesses and workforce training. She not only represents the historic East Las Vegas community and its community center, but has also gained responsibility for a few of the city's most popular and tourist-centric destinations, including that of 18B, our wonderful arts district. Talk about transformative over these 2 decades. The Arts District, or 18B, has become home to many and varied small business, among which are ethnic dining places, intimate dining spots, bakeries, antique shops, galleries, specialty breakfast places, dining bars, and more popular, the new Brewery Row. It has a hotel, it has an apartment complex, and surely this area embodies our downtown slogan, campaign again, Mr. Riggleman, down for anything. And First Friday celebrates being down for anything. As this popular area continues to expand, we see the ever-increasing need for parking, as we do everywhere. And thus, she is excited to announce plans are finalizing to break ground on a new parking garage at Casino Center Boulevard and Utah Avenue, expected to be completed, unless we get a new mayor in June, it'll be in 2024, and hopefully before December. And just west of the I-15 is Area 15, which anchors another entertainment district, a multifaceted, immersive arts and district, which has been a huge hit with our visitors and residents. Expansion is underway right now with a new year-round horror attraction from Universal Parks and Resorts that has already proven exciting in Florida and Texas. Fisher Brothers, Area 15 Developing, have shared plans for mixed-use residential developments in the same neighborhood between Sahara and Desert Inn, with more than 1,300 residential units that will be offered with a new hotel coupled with shopping and retail district. And also, Ward 3 is the home to the city's first elementary charter school. Strong Start Academy Elementary School at the Tony Shea Education Campus is an outgrowth of the city's early on Strong Start pre-K programs, which we have offered at various sites and through mobile units in the downtown. This elementary school is a true first and teaches on a bilingual educational basis. The school has already shown impressive data gains for children in only its second year of operation in K1 and 2. And being an elementary school teacher, this is of the greatest pride to Councilwoman Diaz. And much like the creation of the 100 Plan, which you'll hear about in a minute, that initiated nationwide with federal support in 2016 in challenged neighborhoods, and which has been put into action in Ward 5 with Councilman Creer. Councilwoman Diaz is working with her entire community on an East Las Vegas plan. Already one of the major pieces of this plan is the recipient of a $23 million federal grant, which will now afford the renovation of Stewart Avenue from 6th to Nellis Boulevard. And this Complete Streets project will add new sidewalks, bike lanes, trees, and showcase selected public art. A real neighborhood changer. And in Ward 4, how do we not recognize this bowl of energy, our former Assemblywoman, Councilwoman Frances Polensky? She hit ground here and she was off. You almost couldn't keep up with everything she was doing. She's been hosting a variety of events at the Durango Hills YMCA and also at our treasured Police Memorial Park. Sadly, 2 more names will be added this year to Police Memorial Park as we remember Trooper Alberto Felix and Sergeant Michael Abate, the 2 NHP troopers killed so tragically in the line of duty. As a strong voice for us all, Councilwoman continues her advocacy for the ever-improved public safety and for unveiling support for improving mental health initiatives. They are so needed and need to be more readily available to our first responders. Their day-to-day responsibilities in the line of duty are so far way too intolerable, and individual support must be given to them. Ward 4 has also become home to so many new residents and new businesses in the very successful communities of Providence and Desert Shores. Now another new community and development is in planning for the La Madre Hills Foothills neighborhood. How and where parks, transportation, school opportunities might be located are the subject of public outreach meetings that the Councilwoman has been having to assure that the results will be enriched and well planned. Public involvement is what she depends on and what she encourages, because she knows it only is with public involvement in the grassroots that success is gained. Part of creating excellent development is by providing ease of access to it. Last month, the Councilwoman was joined by Councilwoman from Ward 6, Nancy Bruni, to celebrate the completion of the much-awaited NDOT Centennial Bowl project. In the works for more than a decade, this integrating flyover and travel complex is the happiest moment for anybody who works, or goes anywhere near the Northwest. Ward 4 is another section of the city with beautiful parks and outdoor amenities for recreation and exercise. And not to be forgotten, for this new region, pickleball center will be Wayne Bunker Park. And I have to remind you all that our current Lieutenant Governor, Stavros Anthony, gave us all at that time a request to build pickleball courts. And when I took him to the Las Vegas Events Committee and said, help, the question was, what is pickleball? And today, as we all know, if we can still stand upright and walk, to say nothing of being a great tennis player here, pickleball is an answer to us all. So you are an advocate and you're going to do that. And anybody who wants to, do you play? Yes. Oh. Okay, she's a champion, so watch for that, and I can assure you it will be great. But Stavros, wherever you, Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much. And what is additionally exciting for Ward 4 is that it's planned for the future site of a campus of the College of Southern Nevada, the Northwest Campus. And while the site was planned for Ward 6, and I do recall dear Councilman Steve Ross, this redistricting has moved it. So Councilwoman Bruni, Councilwoman Polensky, this is a joint venture in gaining SNPLA funding for its development, and we thank you so much. In Ward 5, oh, look at this. Look, Councilman, look how much I have left. He's not shy. Okay. And in Ward 5, and I've known him since he was 4, former regent, former city planning commissioner, native-born, Councilman Cedric Creer has taken that 2016 100 plan and pushed it into action. This is not only a roadmap for the future of the historic West Side where he still lives, but is also a community neighborhood movement, actively adding long-needed amenities to the area. One piece of the 100 plan, and I think there's a piece of the artwork that you can see, unless it's already shown, that our Howard Hughes Corporation helped fund that. In December, a new library broke ground in the 1800 block of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, a much-needed facility within walking distance of so many. The library is located near the city's Legacy Park, where those who have made a difference in building the life of the historic West Side and Las Vegas are now recognized. And recall, too, 1964. Segregation. And this has been a changing time. Mario's long-serving and now expanded West Side Market is thriving nearby too, and is providing more food options for the neighborhood and entire Martin Luther King corridor visitors and all the residents. The new long-awaited and anticipated Jackson Street Complete Streets project began with citywide sidewalks being added, trees and lighting, and replacing curbs and gutters to create a more walkable area and community that's inviting for the neighborhood and the businesses. This year we'll see portions of H Street and Washington Avenue get full street makeovers. Plans for an African American Museum and Cultural Center are moving along also in the historic West Side. World-renowned museum designers Gallagher and Associates recently presented a master plan for the center to the council and to me. The firm is the same one behind the International Spy Museum, the National Museum of African American Music, the National World War II Museum, and our own National Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement, better known as the Mob Museum. Another cultural institution that calls Ward 5 home is the historic West Side School, which recently celebrated 100 years and is the oldest building that was used as a school in Las Vegas. That campus is now moving into the future with plans to break ground on a new 10,000 square foot workforce education and training center. The new center will focus on training for entry-level skills as well as for positions in advanced manufacturing, construction trades, information technologies, and for positions in the healthcare specialties. A welcome addition to Ward 5 is the new Ernest and Betty Becker Tech Center, a space in which children have the opportunity to learn about technology and get a possible peek into their future interests. When we refer to the new developments in Symphony Park, it's with the assurance that the city will continue to support public amenities to all those developments. These are in Ward 5. Addressing this growing need this spring, we will complete an expansion of City Parkway Garage, located at 350 City Parkway, and is currently adding 3 new floors of parking, 480 new parking spaces, and is constructing a vehicular bridge connecting it to the 500 South Main one that some of you may have parked in. And as Councilman Creer is an animal lover, I'm not sure he doesn't, there's nothing you don't love. And we still have time here. He's been instrumental in recently passing something that will help unite families with their dogs and cats. The ordinance requires microchipping, and we're hopeful that that will help lower the number of animals that end up in our shelters or are separated from their owners. And in Ward 6, our lovely, wonderful, brilliant former founding executive director of the Kenny Gwynn Policy Center, a research professor at the DRI Desert Research Institute, senior fellow at the Children's Advocacy Alliance. First-term elected Councilwoman Nancy Bruni is seeing much new development and potential enormous growth in her hugely popular ward. Opened recently over 300 new businesses in the area, and she is working to ensure that growth continues for smart and well-planned developments. The Kyle Canyon Plan launched in late 2023, and that under her leadership will help provide a guide as to how that area develops over the coming years in the northwest part of the city. It includes transition points where urban and rural landscapes come together, affording bastions of ranchettes and Western-style living still, as well as the more communal developments for our residents. The new area will include the forthcoming Sunstone community and a new regional park and ride transit facility, and a high school. The large and successful Gary Goet Sky Canyon community is also part of the area. And to keep the whole area safe, just a few months back, Fire Station 46 opened in the neighborhood. Located off North Grand Canyon Drive, the station has a full contingent of firefighters and paramedics to serve the expanding needs of this incredibly popular area. And now in 2024, Councilwoman Bruni will be working with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department in the design phase, getting underway for the new police substation to be located near Grand Canyon and Sky Canyon. Oh, it's just incredible. And don't forget, and I'm sorry, I'm just sorry, folks, it's just too much happening here. And I can assure you, don't forget, Councilwoman Bruni continues to be stewards of one of the city's most historic and beloved outdoor spaces. That is our national park, our Tule Springs Fossil Beds National Park, that recently, I don't know if they did it on our cell phones or whatever, we get the old newspaper. And there was information all about UNLV's excitement and involvement out at her park. And so I want to thank you, every one of you, and I think you made it through, for your dedication or responsive work this past year. We all know that other councils elected before us paved the way in planning and building our parks, creating neighborhoods, and they learned and worked hard to serve this city so effectively before us, and we gratefully sit on their shoulders. And we are now at a time of change and have already seen a silver tsunami sweep through our city management. Many of our professional administrative staff have retired this past year, some having served the full 25 years, some more even, and some less. But they were a team that answered the needs of the city and the needs of the public and addressed with results the hopes and requests of past electives and us today as we continue to serve our constituencies. Now comes a new administration led by our terrific new city manager, Mike Jansen, our former chief of infrastructure and public works. He and his team come from a deep and strong bench of professionals who bring new ideas, new ways of thinking, new energy, new leadership in the city. And I'm confident that their passion, integrity, and focus for this very positive change and growth will be strong and wise and take our city into a wonderful new world-class future. He's a good tennis player. Anybody who wants it? I can't remember his phone number, but I also have another member of our staff, outstanding golfer. And I see him looking at me. So, but anyway, I know you're going to be great. Many of his team have risen through the ranks and have years of experience. And Mike and they are talented, experienced, career-educated, energized, and ready. And you can be assured they will continue to work beyond effectively for the betterment of all of Las Vegas. And so, State of the City, once again, I'm grateful. And as I conclude, look at that. Of course, I did cheat. You know that. They all know that I would cheat. That's what. So, and I will pass it on to the next mayor if you'll allow me that gift. Yes, okay. So, as I conclude this evening, I want to thank you all and thank everyone in our community for their continued passion and commitment to our city. Oscar and I have been so honored to have served as mayors, and believe me, we have loved it. He did not want to give it up, as you know, and he fought like a tiger. But lucky me, he only did 12, and the legislature saw the wisdom that this was the year of the woman. 13, 12. That will be on my stone. We know and appreciate that the accomplishments, developments, and goals that have been reached are because of each and every one of you who cares and loves this community of Las Vegas as we do. You have helped and worked to make our city of Las Vegas become beyond a special place, a city being better and reaching higher all the time. We wouldn't have traded any of it. But there is so much still to be done. And I can assure you, until we seat the next mayor, I will give you every ounce of my energy. I hate sleeping anyway. It's so stupid. What a waste of time. You're going to be flat out for a billion years. Use your energy well. But you will have every fiber of my body, every energy and determination throughout my term. Change is inevitable. Change is good. It is certain, but it is good. So stay with it and make it work. And please, everybody, make it your own. Make the change happen, but be part of it. And I'd be very remiss if I didn't shout out a very special, there's so many to thank. And so some of you have seen your photos there, and I'll fire anybody who didn't put your face up. If you wanted it up, we'll have a special meeting for your face. But I would tell you, you're all wonderful. But I'd be really remiss if I didn't shout out a very special thank you to 2 planning commissioners who are appointed but have worked so tirelessly all these years, sometimes to 2, 3 in the morning when the message is so annoying, and yet you have to stay there and listen to meeting after meeting, and they come in after we leave. And so a special thanks to you, Sam Cherry and Trinity Schlotman. You've worked the most intolerable to help us build. I mean, absolutely. There have been so many on our planning commissions that have worked diligently alongside them. But because they came in, and Trinity, I see you back there, he rode from one elected to another, but always so calm and always so involved and caring. You feel their love for our communities. So they never missed out on providing us at the council level with clear and good and helpful analysis. You've served the council and this city beyond a calling, and I thank you very much. And thank you to my loyal and wonderful and talented staff with whom I couldn't function. Laura Kalkman, Kimberly, where are you? Where are you? There you are. There they are. But believe me, I don't do anything. They do it. All of it, they answer. They get all the grouchy calls. They get everything. The people that will cuss out and say, why did you do this? And how can you be so stupid as to have done this? But without Laura Kaltman, Kimberly Reed, and Steph Orochi, and of course, always I go back to Zach Bucher, who's worked originally in my office and for my husband before me, and just has been the best. And Cheryl, wherever you are, who lasted so long. And Oscar keeps quoting her all the time. These are the people that really, in every single one of these offices, it's our staff. It's our staff that keeps it all together. And most of all, of course, the deepest thing that I feel in life is love for my family. Nobody's had a better family, more wonderful children and grandchildren, spouses, and others. And Oscar and I have been so blessed, because without being in Nevada, we would not have this family. And of course, to my dear beloved husband, that my mother and father said, never, never. I can assure you, whatever you think he is, he is. He is a kick in the pants. It's been 62 years, and it's a miracle. And the word is, he is irreplaceable. So I thank you all. We share the words, carpe diem, seize the day. Every day is precious. Don't blame people for your own shortcomings, and help keep this city going forward and better every day. God bless each one of you, and God bless Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you.